Imagine a man so arrogant, so hardened of heart, that he nearly caused the annihilation of his household. Now consider in contrast the wisdom and humility of a woman such that it saved countless lives. This is the true story of Nabal, who the Bible described as evil in his doings, his wife Abigail, and David, a rising king. A story of pride, justice, and the power of wisdom when it matters most. In a region called Mon near Carmel, after Samuel's death, there lived a very wealthy man named Nabal. He was of the house of Caleb and owned 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. But Nabal wasn't just rich. He was rude, arrogant, and impossible to deal with. His wife, Abigail, was nothing like him. She was wise, intelligent, and beautiful, and everyone respected her. Not far away, David, the future king of Israel, and his men were hiding in the wilderness from King Saul. During this time, they protected the flocks and shepherds of the wealthy Nabal in addition to that of local shepherds. They performed their duties with integrity, never stealing from those they protected, and kept raiders away. So when sheep shearing time came, a time of generosity and celebration, David sent messengers to Nabal with a respectful request for provisions, noting the protection his men had offered. However, Nabal insulted David, calling him a runaway servant and refusing to give him anything. "Who is David? Who is this son of Jesse? Why should I give my bread and water unto men whom I know not whence they be?" Nabal said. His response wasn't just rude, it threatened David's honor. This enraged David, who gathered 400 armed men to retaliate. They were going to wipe out every male in Nabal's household by morning. David, brave and honorable, was now blinded by anger. A war over bread and respect was about to explode. One of Nabal's servants, overhearing what had happened, ran to Abigail and told her everything. Abigail didn't panic. Intelligent and discerning, she took action. Without telling her husband, she prepared a generous gift of donkeys with 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 roasted sheep, and loads of grain and figs. Then she rode out alone to intercept David. When she met David on the road, he was armed, furious, and ready to destroy. She bowed low before him and said words that melted his rage. "Please forgive my husband. He's a fool, true to his name. But you, David, are wise and chosen by God. Don't stain your hands with blood. Let God handle it." She humbly apologized for her husband's behavior and asked David not to shed blood or take vengeance. Her humility and wisdom impressed David. Then he said, "Blessed be you, Abigail. You kept me from bloodshed today." He praised God for sending Abigail to stop him from making a grave mistake. He accepted her gifts and turned back with his men. Abigail returned home to a drunk Nabal, still celebrating, unaware of the calamity that was just averted on his behalf. The next morning, after he had sobered from the prior night's feast, she told Nabal what she had done and how close he had come to losing his life. And then, something happened. The Bible says his heart failed him. He became like stone. 10 days later, God struck him and he expired. When David heard Nabal was dead, he praised God for delivering justice. David then did something unexpected. He sent for Abigail and asked her to marry him. She accepted his proposal and rode to meet him as her husband, accompanied by 5 of her handmaidens. The story of Nabal serves as a warning to choose humility over arrogance, generosity over selfishness, and wisdom over foolish pride, as pride blinds and isolates us from God's protection. Nabal's downfall came from a hardened heart and a refusal to show kindness when it was within his power to do so. In contrast, Abigail exhibited wisdom, humility, and courage. Her intervention diffused a violent situation and brought peace where there could have been bloodshed. Her actions show the power of godly wisdom and the impact of one person's courage. The story is also a reminder that vengeance belongs to God. David was about to take vengeance into his own hands, but Abigail reminded him not to shed blood in anger. Her words helped David trust God's justice instead of acting out in rage. God honors righteousness. In the end, he rendered judgment against Nabal. David's restraint and Abigail's righteousness were honored, evidence that God sees all and will ultimately bring justice. When faced with conflict, respond with grace. When given the opportunity to bless others, act with generosity. Let your words be humble, your actions wise, and your heart open to God's guidance. The choice between foolishness and wisdom lies before you daily. Choose the path that brings peace and honors God.